want to come be in the vlog? This is a bit of a spoiler for a video coming soon. Welcome to the September reading vlog. I always forget what month it is. I have a feeling that this month is going to be pretty small, and that is the reading section, which I am sad about, but it is just being the way. I am still reading Carve the Mark. It has been nearly a month. I am 350 pages in. It's not that I'm not enjoying it, because I am. It's not even that I don't feel like reading because I want to read, I just don't have time. Like, the spaces in this month that usually I would dedicate to reading have been dedicated to trying to get ahead on my university reading, which means that, you know, when I'm on a train or, you know, before I go to bed, rather than reading this, I'm doing my university reading, which means that I haven't had much time to read it. I'm hoping to finish it in the next few days though. So yeah, kind of sucks. I did read this graphic novel to try and boost my Goodreads a bit, but it's not looking great. This is a graphic novel that I bought off this guy in Travelling Man, Chris Lakey, years and years and years ago. I don't even know if it has a date of when I bought it. It was years ago, and I remember liking the idea when he explained it to me, but then when I read it, I didn't really understand what it was. I didn't really understand what was going on, or what the ladybird had to do with it, and I don't really understand what the ladybird has to do with it still, but I couldn't follow it. This time reading it, I followed the whole thing, and do you mind, I'm trying to film a video here. Want more of this universe, but I believe this is the only graphic novel in this series. So it's about this guy who feels like his world is wrong. Feels like he's got the thing where he thinks that all of his family is being replaced by like identical copies, and he joins a focus group for other people who feel like this, and then it turns out that he's not as wrong as he thinks, and I'm not going to say any more. I bought Heroes and Mythos. They are both signed. I'm excited to read these, so I'm a little bit annoyed. So both of them have this like double layered cover thing, and I think the covers are really nice, but this one's shiny and this one's matte, and that annoys me. I was sent a ARC by Sarah Gubbert, who I've worked with before, for Bibliocon. Actually, I don't think this is an ARC. I was just sent it before the release date, and I intended on reading it before the release date because it came out like on the 4th of September, but I just haven't got around to it, so I will be reading this next and reviewing it. Maybe I'll do a full video reviewing it, but yeah, I just haven't got around to it because I have been reading Carve the Mark, which has taken me a lot longer than I was hoping. Again, as soon as I come back to university, reading slows down like crazy. I am very, very, very close to finishing. So I'm just going to review this as if I finished it. To be honest, I think I only have like 20 or so pages left because most of this is like the first chapter of like a different book. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's very dense. It's very, the world building is very heavy. It took me quite a while to get into it, and then it got good. I don't know if I'm interested in it enough to read the next one. It's kind of hard to judge when I get to these times where it takes me so long to finish a book, because I don't know if I'm not enjoying it because there's such big gaps in between me reading it, or if I'm not enjoying it because I'm just not enjoying it. I think I am enjoying it. I realise that's a strange thing to say, so I think I'm going to keep reading the next ones. But yeah, I also worked out that I've done 140 pages of university reading this month, which is not that much, but if any of you guys are used to university reading, you know it is quite thick. It is very dense. It takes a lot longer than normal stuff. So I've probably done about the equivalent time of reading another book. So you know how I was watching Once Upon a Time and how it's like really, really long and that I probably shouldn't start watching another really long TV programme halfway through? Well, fun story, I started watching House. I actually watched Diagnosis, which is a series on Netflix at the moment, which I would really recommend. It's one of the consults for House makes it, and this woman writes a column for the New York Times where she talks about weird diagnosis stories, so like House. But they all have an answer at the end of them, and she decided that she was going to do this series where she talks about cases that don't have an answer yet, and she posted these online saying, you know, she talks to someone who has like a load of weird symptoms and that nobody knows what's causing them, and then she gets them to make a video and she posts them as an article on the New York Times website, and she gets people to respond, like give video responses as to what they think they are. So the idea is it's sort of
crowdsourcing a diagnosis, and it was super interesting, and I really enjoyed it. And then I was like, well, if I really enjoyed that, and it's kind of similar to House, why don't I just watch House? It's obviously not as good because it's all made up and there's some like drama bits in it, but it is fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm on episode 22 of season 1, which I believe is the last one of the last episodes of season 1.
Me and Tilly today went to go see Blinded by the Light, which is the movie about a guy who's really into Bruce Springsteen. It wasn't what I was expecting. I knew it was about Bruce Springsteen by the title and also because of what I'd heard, and I just assumed that it was a biopic. Bad thing to assume. It was not at all. It was really fun. It was like, it wasn't the most complex or intellectual thing ever. It had its moments, definitely, but it was generally just a feel-good, fun movie. I've also been watching Bake Off, of course I have, because Bake Off is fantastic, and everyone should watch it. I am... what episode are we on now? 4? We've just had Dairy Week. Yeah, I'm really liking the contestants this season. I think a lot of them are really interesting. They've gone for definitely a bigger range than they have been recently, which I am liking. I want... the thing that I like the most, the contestant that I always like the most is the one that's like the most creative. So last year we had Kim Joy, who did all like the cutesy stuff, and this year we've got, I can't remember the woman, but she does like the goth stuff. She made like a ghost and like the witch's fingers and things, and she's really fun. I kind of want to see a little bit more of that, because I think they're the most fun. Me and Carla watched Hilda, which is a cute little cartoon on Netflix, and it was really fun. I really liked it. It was this like, it's based on a comic book, I believe, and it was sort of surreal. Kind of had the we were talking about what kind of style it was like. It kind of looked like Steven Universe, sort of. I don't know, the style of it was really interesting, and like it was kind of creepy and weird, and like, yeah, it was a kids show, but I would still kind of recommend it. It was short and cute and fun, and the weird creatures and things that you meet are all kind of fun and cool, and maybe it's a good like sort of chill Halloween thing. I think that's probably a good time to watch it. And we also watched a movie called The Red Turtle, which is the new Studio Ghibli movie, and it was a bit weird. It watched like a short film, but was not a short film. There was no speaking in the whole thing, it was all just like music. And yeah, it was a bit odd. I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I'm not really sure if I enjoyed it or not. It was weird. And we also rewatched How to Train Your Dragon, which is always fantastic. The whole series is great.
I went to go see Limits. This is the second time that I've seen it. Sorry, that's Les Miserables. I'm sure you know that. The first time I saw it was in London. It was the one with the really cool rotating stage. It was absolutely fantastic. Carrie was in it. I loved it so much. It was so good. And we went to go see the touring version that is touring at the moment, not the one that's in London at the moment, which I would kill to see, which is the concert version, but it was sold out, which really sucks because it was on while I was in London. But anyway, I went to go see the Newcastle version. We've had the tickets for like 15 months. As soon as they announced it, we bought the tickets. It was like 20 of us there. It was a massive group. It was so good. The visuals on it were so good. It was very different from the London version that we originally saw because it didn't have that rotating stage, but whoever did the lighting and like the set design for that like made it. Like the show's obviously fantastic because the story's so good and the songs are so good, but like wow. We also went to go see Book of Mormon again. So I've seen 2 shows recently that I've already seen before. It is still fantastic. It was the same cast as I saw in Manchester. I saw it in Sunderland this time. It was still really funny. It's still really good. I kind of got to appreciate it a little bit more this time around, I think, because I wasn't like it's a lot. It's very, very good, but it's a lot. The first time I was like, wow, this is a lot. And the second time I was like, oh, this is actually really funny and really clever and really fun. I went to go see Stephen Fry's Mythos. It was like a 3-part series thing where he did 3 different shows in a bunch of these areas, and all 3 of them were on different themes, and I went to see the Heroes one. It was really good. It was really nice to see him in person because like Stephen Fry is fantastic and I've seen so much of his work over the years, and yeah, it was really cool. Wish I could have met him. Didn't, though I did buy 2 of his books, I should show you. I listened to all of Circe by Madeline Miller. I thought I told you about this in the last vlog, but
apparently I didn't. I watched back and I didn't tell you, sorry. I started listening to it last month and I finished it this month, and it was really, really, really good. She also wrote Song of Achilles, which I really enjoyed. I've been meaning to read Circe for so long. And then the audiobook became available on BorrowBox, which is like the library borrowing service for your phone, depending on what library you're at. And I really, 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 really liked it. It's about a nymph that becomes a witch in Greek mythology, and it was really, really cool, and it makes me want to read more mythology, especially after reading classical mythology last month. I want to read some more mythology. So if any of you guys could recommend some cool Greek mythology retell, any mythology retellings really, I'm interested. I also started listening to Hagwitch, I think it's called, by Margaret Atwood. I'm not loving it. I'm a bit fussy with audiobooks, a lot more fussy than I am with actual books. I don't know if I'm going to keep listening. I'm going to give it a bit more of a chance. Maybe wait until the next book I have reserved comes available. But like and subscribe and all that jazz. New videos every Wednesday, new ones these the last Wednesday of every month. Yeah, what else do I say? If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments, and I'll see you next week. Hey.